Good morning. I'm so glad you're joining me today. And I apologize. It's been about 5 minutes of glitches with all of my social media resources. So it'll be interesting to see how this one records because last week it recorded really jumpy. So please put a comment in the box and let me know how this sounds to you throughout the video if anything's going on, so at least I have an idea of it, right? So today I want to talk about creating attention, and this has been coming up all week because I'm noticing within clients and colleagues that I'm talking to, because I don't know about you, but with this lull that came in after the solar flares, there's been phone calls going, what's going on? How come it's so quiet? How come it feels sort of like there's a numbing feeling out there? And so we've been playing with it. I've been talking a lot with colleagues and friends and, ex clients, and even in my sessions. So our attention is our commodity. It always has been, right? Our attention and what we give our attention to is our value. It is how we give with our energy system into the world, into other people. And it can be harnessed, it can be provoked, it can be used, it can be enjoyed, it can be celebrated, right? So when we were kids, we created attention from our parents, whether it was if I wanted a hug, I went up and I sat next to my mom or my dad, right? When we noticed this with our children, um, when our children can also create or avoid attention, which is and we did this as children, and we also see this in our own children, which is when they don't want to be seen, they can be invisible, they can avoid, they can be snarky, they can push back because there's something that they don't want your eyes on them, right? So children can create or avoid attention, and our partners can create it, and it can be frustrating or it can be wonderful because attention is how we take point A and point B and we lock them together in a two, and we provide a polarity, which is an energy system that pulses between the two, right? So when we want attention, we feel like there's caring and love. And we also feel like there's interest and alignment. The biggest thing to think about is that it means that we feel. It's that this awakens us. Our attention sort of goes, "Oh, wait a minute, there's something going on here," right? So it's impulses that rule our nervous system. So we have really deep conditioned patterns about getting and creating attention and keeping attention. It's a very broad topic, yet when I bring it back down into the dynamics of relationship, you with yourself, you with your child, you with your partner, with the team you work with, or the projects you work with at work, right? Attention is energy and connection, and it's a bonding of opposites of energies that either can come together and move in sync with each other or repel. And either way, there's energy there, right? We've also been conditioned to, we also have conditioned patterns for managing our attention. So if it gets really big and strong and scary, we start to shut down and go like, no, don't look, don't go over there, avoid. Or if it feels like judgment or control. So the way that we sort of keep an eye on this interaction between two people or between us and another is really interesting. I've spoken about this lately in Chiron because Chiron is our energetic antenna, right? It's how we read rooms, it's how we take in information, and it's how we use that energetic connection. It's where our wisdom resides. It's our ability to feel and to navigate and to decide and to react, right? It's all connected with our abilities to receive and interact with energy because it comes through our nervous system. So, this is what our children, they're learning right now between birth and 18 is watch mom and dad, watch, teachers, watch extended family, watch any adult that's in their world with them on how they identify and manage and understand cause and effect between one person and another. It's and what I've noticed is that they're watching it, but no one's talking about energy. No one's talking about, oh, did you feel that? Oh, what did you notice? And so we're guessing. And then the second part is, as adults, it's our blind spot. We weren't taught it. It isn't a basic life skill of this is how people interact with each other on an energetic level. So, um, having this presented as a core life skill, that understanding energy and how we interact with each other is crucial because we haven't been taught, right? So, attention equals reaction. You get attention, you either warm up and you're like, ooh, this is going to be nice, or you get attention and you're like, stand back. I don't know if I want this, right? Whatever has our attention grows and flourishes. Whatever has our attention gets bigger and our behavior and patterns get bigger. So, attention is attention. And when you're seeking that connection, it doesn't matter whether it's good or bad attention, right? It's just that they want it. And when you're absent or when you're checked out, and this as a parent or a partner, when you're really not there and you're not paying attention, all of a sudden you start seeing some provoking going on, which is, I need you to put some attention over here. And that's where we see toddlers who throw toys, who have temper tantrums, who raise their voice, because they're trying to get our attention. This is where we have teens who will make choices just to get your attention to sit down and talk to you. Or my favorite is that they will avoid having attention because they don't understand what they're doing or why they're doing it, right? So think about it. When we feel unheard, we raise our voice. When we feel attacked, we defend or we attack back, right? And if we want attention, we provoke it. We do something. We throw a little teaser out there. We start a little argument. We start a little fight because attention isn't good or bad. It's just attention. And some of it's acceptable and some of it isn't. So attention is yours. Basically, at your core, attention is yours to give, yours to grow, yours to focus on what you desire. So transitioning from reacting to attention that somebody else gives you, from the external, and owning and directing, what am I going to do? And sometimes I take this, here's the relationship between the two, and then you can also hold on to the steering wheel, and you can drive this relationship into where you want to take it, right? So owning and directing it is a mastery skill that we all can do, and it's really fun once we learn how to do attention. So I have 5 tips for you today on how we can look at the concept of attention and explore it within ourselves, right? So, number 1, you've seen me put some posts all over social media about self-knowledge. And I'm not messing around with this. The more that we know ourselves, the more awareness we have of our nervous system, how it reacts when we push away, when we lean in, where our sensitivities rise with the highly sensitive person, the HSP stuff. What are our empathic skills? What does our intuition tell us? When does it turn on? When do we listen? What are our clairs? What is breath work? What is the knowledge of creating calm in our body? What is meditation? What is yoga? What is walking outside? What works for you to find your inner knowledge, your self knowledge of how your energy system works so that you can define it and take it out there? So that's the first thing, is self knowledge. You have to know these things. And this is what I do. I build awareness on this as a coach. Number 2, recognition that you are in a cause and effect. Recognition that there's some sort of if this happens, then this happens. If this happens, then this happens, right? So, the reaction pattern is like, oh man, I can't believe I just figured this out, that I'm in reaction patterns. Because you can say something like, when I'm with fill in the blank, whether it's a child, a teen, a lover, a colleague, even when I'm in the grocery store and I'm in the greater public, right? And I feel this, and you identify it. I feel agitation, I feel sweaty, I feel anger, I feel this, I feel that. Then it's coming from a connection that I have that I need to pay attention to. So it's the recognition that there's a cause and effect. Sometimes if we just are hit all the time, we can walk around in a victim mentality going like, man, the world is just hard. or people are just mean, as opposed to going, there's a cause and effect here, right? So this is huge. People, places, and things. Look for it. Look for it in your teen. Look for it in your child. Look for it within yourself. There's a relaxing and opening, and there's a shutdown and defending. Number 3, build consciousness about these patterns, not self-judgment or blame, not, like I'm talking about actual awareness of, observing and tracking and going, wow, every time I have this conversation with this one friend, we do really well until we hit this one topic area and then we both go into reaction, right? Number 4, play with how to change your reaction to others, that are desiring your attention. Play with it. Play with it. So step back, be present is one way I play with it, which is like, just observe and watch and go like, wow, there's all sorts of energy moving around here that I had no idea before. Number 2, or another, I have so many numbers going on. Sorry. Give your attention, but not your help. Give your attention, but not your help. Don't step in and problem solve. Just go, so what are you going to do about that? Wow, sounds like you've got a problem, which is really basic love and logic stuff, right? Bummer. What are you going to do about that? This is old school 80s, but not from the construct of attention and energy, which is I'm going to stand here and hold space for you. I'm not taking that on. And another one is the option, and I've done this several times in past videos, is refuse to interact or engage with someone who's angry or blaming or is having a reaction and they need you to join them in that reaction. So the example I use is they throw a pillow at you and you go like, not mine, not my pillow. I'm not taking that, right? No, that's not mine. So you just sort of watch it go by or you let it hit you and fall and say, what is it that you need? And so what we do is we use our attention wisely. It's so interesting. And then the other thing is talk about it. Talk about it not from judgment, not from like, hey, I noticed you're doing. What you do is you say, I noticed that you look kind of angry and I'm wondering, are you okay? What's going on? So you keep saying there's energy here and I'm recognizing it and this is what I want to do. And then number 5 is have compassion for yourself because you're learning new ways of interacting. You're learning new ways of interacting with yourself, with others, and you're going to be different than you were before. And the people who are in relationship with you are either going to be more aggravated or they're going to step in and they're going to love it more. So, have compassion that the change is happening in these dynamics between you and another in this energy. So if this is something you're interested in learning more about, for this early February, I've got 3 6-week coaching spots available and would love to chat with you. So drop me a note. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you put comments down there if there's anything that you found helpful. And thank you so much for watching. And I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.